Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Daincast. Got another game here from our friend Jefflenious, also known as Jefflenious. He is playing the Protoss in the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE. This will be on the new patch, actually. It's a ladder game, red versus blue, and this is on the new patch with the new maps. I'm interested in seeing as many games on this new patch as possible. This is going to be a diamond level game. Between these two players, it's a PvZ, and it's looking like it's going to shape up to be a pretty normal one. There's no 12 pool, nothing super early from the Zerg. Pretty normal pylon from Jeff, and he is scouting after the pylon. Is going to be looking to do some kind of maybe hatchery block with this. I like this move from Jeff. It's a very early scout. Hopefully he's going to block this hatchery. This can be very annoying for the Zerg to deal with. And okay, he does know about it. Okay, so he's gonna put this on a little pentagon, and it's gonna stop the Zerg from taking this. The drone is gonna try to attack this probe, but this is gonna be at least a few more seconds here. Two more drones are pulled, but with the pylon block, this is going to stop the Zerg from taking this base. This can be a really crucial move in the latest PvZ metagame, because what you want to do is an adept attack early on, and this is the most popular build. You go for a big glaive adept attack off of two bases, and by having the Zerg take this base that's a little bit further away, this makes it that much harder for him to defend, because if he was on these two bases that were mining, he would have to defend his drones that were over here and here, and this makes it a lot shorter distance for his roaches to go back and forth from. But I don't know if it's going to get to that. The probe is going to be killed here in the mineral line. A little bit unfortunate there as the Zerg focuses it down. But the Zerg has now taken two bases only against the two bases of the Protoss. Jefflenious getting his cybernetics core as well. And once the cybernetics core finishes, this is when we're going to start to see the flavor come out from Jefflenious. If he's going to go for a glaive adept build, or if he's going to go for a Stargate, or if he's just going to go for a DT drop or something like that. There's lots of options for Protosses in this matchup. Some of them better than others. Obviously, with the Queen range being nerfed in this patch, there are rumors that the DT drop is going to come back, as it's a little bit more difficult for the Queens to hit that Warp Prism and kill it. So it's a little bit less risky now to be harassing with a Warp Prism with Dark Templar in it, because obviously it's very important to keep that alive. If the Queens have that extra long range and they can just kill it without much fuss, it's just not worth it for the risk, because if it goes down, you pretty much just lose the game. Now, this is already looking like it's going to be an interesting set of choices from Mucephei. He is making only a few lings, but I don't see a third base from him. I think he might just be hoping on killing this pylon and then taking it. So now that he's made his Zerglings, he's going to be able to get rid of this pylon. It's going to be a little bit annoying for Jeff here. Might actually pylon block him, but it's not gonna, because he's built an extra pylon back home, so he should be absolutely fine. Building his Twilight Council, not gonna be a Stargate play here, and we should see a hatchery coming down in this location from our Zerg player shortly. Or perhaps we may not, because he's going for a Roach Warren at 3 minutes. This is a very early Roach Warren. The Adept poking in and having a look, but importantly, did he see that there are no drones here? There's only one, which is going to give a big tell. Since he knows that this is the base that his opponent took, he knows that he's on a very low drone count. And there are 4 more drones being made, so he's going to want to pop and see what that is. But if you scout that your opponent has not a lot of drones at this timing, when your Adept gets there, you've got to start to become suspicious. There's still no third base. This is also something you'd want to know with this Adept. You'd want to scout in and see that. This is very, very crucial. You don't want to be defending, or you don't want to be sending out a Warp Prism drop if there's a huge Roach attack coming in. So what you want to be doing is defending. There are lots of gateways, though. A Robotics Bay coming up, and Glaive Adepts are on the way. So he's going to get Adept Glaives as an upgrade at the Twilight Council, which is not the upgrade that you want versus Roaches, especially if it's going to be a very early Roach attack. So the Roaches are on the way, 3 of them so far, and a few more being made. So up to 5 Roaches with a bunch of Zerglings. He's going to try and batter down the front door of the Protoss opponent, but really the important thing here is that Jeff doesn't know about this yet, but he's not skipping Warpins. He's making lots of Adepts. It's going to be an interesting interaction here, as Jeff obviously has the better economy here, going up to 34 workers to only 25 of his opponent. He's going to be making a Warp Prism here, but the move out at 4 minutes 30 with these 4 Adepts is going to be a little bit scary if the Roaches come across the map. It's just enough to threaten damage, but I think his opponent might just be thinking of defending here. We really should see these Roaches moving across the map. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. He's got all his Roaches in the main base. Maybe, I was thinking maybe a Nidus, but there's no layer. There's only a few drones there. This is looking just a little bit strange. He actually has 700 minerals, in the bank. He's got a lot of roaches, which is scary, but now these Adepts are going to spot this, and we'll have to see how Jeff decides to react to this. He is completely overwhelming. He's got only 4 roaches here, which Jeff is going to be able to jump on. This is a very scary attack, even though this opponent is doing a roach all-in off of 2 bases. Jeff is still going in with his Adept attack, and he's trading relatively well. He's killed a few roaches, but overall, this is going to get cleaned up in the end. I think this is definitely how this was going to go. So Jeff is instead going to now be on a situation where he is 2 base versus 2 bases. The Warp Prism is getting DPS down by the Queen, but he's going to save it just in time. He's paying attention here. And Jeff's going to stay on 2 bases. I think it's a very wise move. Looks like he might be wanting to take this base, but obviously you don't want to go up to more than 2 bases against the 2 base Zerg, guys. This is time to be panicking. I don't know why this Zerg is floating so much money off of 2 bases, but this is scary. He's going for roaches. He's going for roaches. Too early. He's going to kill you. Don't expand. Make immortals. Jeff is going for, I assume he's going to be going for Blink. He's got a lot of Stalkers here. Now that the War Prism's joining, he's going to be able to get rid of this pesky Overlord. Stalker's obviously trading a lot better against Roaches. There's no Ravagers here just yet. So if Jeff decides to engage this, he could start kiting these Roaches back. There's not a lot of Zerglings. They're actually sitting out at the 3rd. But he's got to be very careful. If these Stalkers move out and get surrounded by these Zerglings, it could be lights out for him. He does have a single Immortal, but 14 more Zerglings are on the way. Not a lot of drones. Only 23 drones for our Zerg opponent. So now Jeff needs to play this very cautiously. He does move out, unfortunately, but he is going to be able to use this Warp Prism to save his Immortal, and this is going to be the crucial thing. If he keeps this Immortal alive, it's going to be able to continue to do massive amounts of damage to these Zerglings, but with the big surround, almost all the Stalkers go down. A big Warp in, but now Jeff has a big hole in his wall. He has been very, very cautious with this Immortal. It's gotten so many kills here, up to 7 kills, but it does finally go down as the Zerglings close the distance. He's only got 4 Stalkers, and he's pulling his probes to do damage, which is definitely the right move here. He doesn't need this many more probes than his opponent, and now that the second Immortal is joining, all of the Zerglings have been cleaned up. I think it's going to be a pretty clean hold for Jeff. There are still more Zerglings moving up, but it looks like this Zerg is in the kind of the Pringles style of Zerg, as once you pop, you don't stop. He's going to just continue making Zerglings and Roaches. Nice little save on that Immortal from Jeff. Nice little micro there, making sure that he doesn't lose any units, but he does lose a couple of Stalkers, but you can't expect him to have the micro of a Grandmaster. He's microing the best that he can, and it's going to be good enough to defend this attack. There is going to be another wave, though, so it's just going to be the Z key held and the R key held for the rest of this game, I think. I don't think this Zerg is ever going to stop making units, but it's not going to work. He's already got an Immortal with 10 kills. He's got multiple Stalkers with multiple kills. The Stalkers just absolutely mowing everything down. The Roaches are not going to trade very well against this, and as the game goes on, they don't even have Roach speed, so they can be kited all day long by Jeff. Especially with micro like that, he's going to be able to trade favorably and just build up that force. He's actually getting Blink in this game, which is going to allow him to punish the Zerg's move out. So Stalkers are already faster. With Blink, they are basically going to be laser beams. They're going to be dancing around these Roaches and Zerglings. The Zerg does go up to 23 workers now, so he actually has saturated mostly the second base, but there's not even full saturation. There's no gases here. There's no layer. Only now at 8 minutes and 20 is he taking a third. This shows you just how committed this Zerg was to this all-in, and as long as Jeff realizes that now is the time he's droning, he's going to be able to move out and do a lot of damage with this attack. I don't think that this army from the Zerg is going to be able to hold Stalkers with Blink and an Immortal, so it's going to be a very, very scary army from Jeff. He's hitting his opponent at a time when he just made a lot of drones and a third base. Nice attack timing now from Jeff, moving out and starting to clear the creep. Would like to see an observer with this army so that he can start pushing out and killing these creep tumors. The Stalkers are obviously going to be vulnerable to these Zerglings, but as long as he can start getting good trades here, a nice little Blink on a Ravager is going to net him 1 for free. Looks like the Zerg's not ready to commit to the fight just yet. There's another Immortal joining the battle. This is looking like a pretty scary attack from Jeff. Even though the armies are roughly the same size, the quality of the Protoss army is just so much higher. He's got better units. They've got Blink. He can blink them back if he wants to, and he can avoid those biles. Nice little move back from the Immortal. Does lose one to a bile. Nice control from the Zerg there to snipe that bile down, but now all of the Zerglings are about to go down. He's warping in more Stalkers, and now there's only Stalkers against Ravagers, and Ravagers are not going to be able to trade very well, especially with the Blink. Good game, well played, and the victory goes to Nooblenious.